Hello, everyone, all my friends all around the world. I want to welcome you to my live show today. Today is episode 10 of our show, the Inspirational Talk Show. Today, I'm going to be talking about something that is very important that can really help millions of people all around the world. And as you can see today, I'm going to be talking about an important, very important message today. I'm going to be sharing something that is so powerful today. How to write your first book. If you have been thinking about writing your first book, or maybe you have been inspired before to write your first book, or maybe you don't really know how to get started, or you get confused sometimes that is it really possible for me to write my home book. I've met a lot of people all around the world, and most people think, no, I can't write a book. um People like us don't write books. you know I don't know if you have ever thought about that before. And I've been in a situation whereby someone told me before, like, um people can't read my book, like I don't have anything to write about. Have you ever thought about that before, that you don't have anything to write about? Or maybe you don't have any content. I mean, you just feel like nobody can read what you have. Okay, well, I really want to help you today. I want to support you, and I think this is very, very important. And that is why I decided to come live, so that I can help anyone who is thinking of writing his or her book, especially your first book. I wrote my first book in 2009. And well, I was like that until I was inspired, until I had that that revelation that this is possible. I read a lot of books, and I want you to know that books actually transformed my life. In 2006, I read a book written by John Mason. Why Ask Why? I don't know if you know that book. It's a very small book, very small book. Why Ask Why, written by John Mason. When I read this book, I learned something very, very, very important. If I learned 5 lessons, from this book, one of the lessons that I learned that really transformed my life in 2006, in one of the pages, it says, your life is all about what you want it to be. If you want to become successful, it is a matter of choice. So you have to decide to be successful. So are you living your life like a thermometer or a thermostat? That really shocked me because, of course, I have, a science background, and I understand what a thermometer is and what a thermostat is. That made me to start researching about what it meant. But let me tell you something. This book transformed my life completely. Let me quickly start from here. I want to encourage you to share this video with anyone that you know in the world, because I'm going to be sharing some powerful information here. And I believe that this is going to help you if you really want to write your first book. If you want to write your first book or profit from your own book, this is going to really help you. I'm going to be giving you the raw information. I'm going to make it very practical, so that you can start writing your own book today. So stop thinking that you cannot write your own book, or maybe nobody can read your own book, or maybe you are confused. You don't even know where to start from. Okay, I get it. In 2008, I had the same feeling. I had the same thoughts until I published my first book in 2009. So we're going to start from here. Let me tell you something very crucial. Everything that you believe today, everything that you believe today, everything was written by dead people. Think about that for a second. Everything that you believe today, everything that you have learned today, maybe you've learned it in a university or at a college, or maybe, maybe check the books that you have, right now at your home. Go and check those books. Most of the authors are dead. Yeah, that's very true. Think about the books written, all the writings by Socrates, Aristotle, Plato, all these guys, and other Greeks that invented democracy. And think about United States, United Kingdom. Think about different nations all around the world that are actually, leveraging on democracy. They invented democracy, and these guys are dead. And today, democracy is ruling the world. So the dead are ruling the world. Let me tell you the most significant thing about writing a book. Write your book can make a great impact in your generation and even generations after you, because a book is an idea container. A book is an idea container. I want you to write that down. Write that down. Very, very crucial. A book is an idea container. In fact, it's a process of transmitting knowledge into the present generation and the next generation. Say what you have written down, published, anything that you have documented has more power than anything that you say. People can easily forget what you have said, but people can never forget what you have documented. Let's think about the Bible for a second. The Bible is a powerful book that I want you to know something about the Bible if you don't really know. Let's talk about the first 5 books in the Bible that Moses actually documented. God told Moses, God told him in Exodus chapter 34 and verse 27 that he should write. God told him, write these things down. And everything I'm telling you, write them down. God was showing him the power of documentation, the power of putting down your idea. Remember that Moses grew up in Egypt. God actually prepared him from a system where civilization started from. God prepared him for a purpose because God wanted him to understand the power of books, the power of an idea, and the power of documenting your idea. So God told him that he should write. So he wrote those things down on parchment. So God allowed him to grow in a different system entirely where civilization started from. So I want you to see how powerful a book is. I'm going to be giving you why you need to write, how you can start writing, what you can write about. I'm going to give you things that you can write about, and when you need to start writing. I'm going to make it very practical. I'm going to help you. So kindly share this video with everyone that you know, especially if someone has discussed with you before that he or she wants to write a book, or probably if the person is confused or the person doesn't know where to start. And I also want to welcome you if you have been thinking of writing your own first book. Well, this is going to really help you. I prepared this for you. Okay, so how can you start writing your book today? Today, how can you start writing your book? I want you to take your pen. I'm going to give you some information that can really, really help you. See, according to the Guinness World Record, as of 1995, the Bible is the best-selling book of all time. Best-selling book of all time, with an estimated 5 billion copies sold and distributed. Can you imagine? 5 billion copies sold. So think about it. If every author in the Bible never wrote down everything that we read today, just think about that for a second. If Paul didn't document anything, if Luke didn't document anything, Matthew didn't write anything, think about that. If John didn't write anything, if Malachi didn't write anything, think about it. What are you going to be reading today? A Bible is a spiritual idea container. It contains spiritual ideas, and people in the last generation, they enjoy everything that is embedded in the Bible. And of course, the generation, our own generation, and even the generations to come. That's how powerful your book can be. Your book can transform lives. Your book will live after you, because an idea outlived the owner. Let me repeat that. An idea outlived the owner. The owner of an idea is the ruler of the world. So if you want to rule the world, if you want to influence lives, you need to put your idea on paper, document your idea. Don't let go your idea. What are the thoughts that God has given to you? What are the ideas that are flowing on your mind? I want you to start thinking about for a second. So let's quickly go through this. This is going to really, really help you. I want you to take your pen, grab a paper. If you need to get, a glass of water, I will encourage you to do that because I'm going to be helping you this time. If you're in Africa, I know it's very late right now, but this is really, really, really good. It's going to help you. Okay, so other books that that are best-selling books. There are many books that I know that are best-selling. But think about The Tale of Two Cities. Think about The Little Prince. Think about The Steps to Christ. All these books they have sold them in millions. Is in his steps. Think about that. What would Jesus do? In his steps, what would Jesus do? More than 30 million copies sold. The Purpose-Driven Life. If you have ever read that book, written by Rick Warren, that book, more than 30 million copies sold. Imagine if Rick Warren didn't write that book. Just think about that. If he never wrote that book, okay, right? Who Moved My Cheese? Have you heard about that book before? 26 million copies, more than 26 million copies sold. Wow. So let's do this. Do you know this book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People? If you know that book has transformed many lives. That book has transformed many organizations, many CEOs. This is, it is one of the most inspiring and impactful books ever written when it comes to, productivity, when it comes to effectiveness, when it comes to habit formation. It's a powerful book. Imagine if Stephen Harcovey never wrote that book. Just think about that for a second. Think about that for a second. So if you want to expose yourself to new ideas, or if you want to expose your new ideas to the world, the best place to start from is to document that idea. Then think about publishing that idea. Think about your mode of thinking. Think about your compounded or your aggregated diverse of the diverse knowledge. Think about your knowledge. Think about things that you've learned, your experience. Think about everything. So are you going to die with those information? Are you going to die with those knowledge? Think about people who are dead today, who never wrote down everything that they learned, all their experiences. Think about professors, PhD holders. Think about experts in different industries who never documented their ideas, their experiences. So this is one thing that I want you to think about. I want you to start thinking about this. That can you be the next inspiring and impactful author? Can you be the next one? Yes, you can. You can. See, there's one thing I know about you. I know that you have a lot of knowledge. If you are 30 years old now, or maybe you are 40 years old now, that means you have 40 years of experience that you need to document. That means you have 40 years of experience that you need to document. Imagine if you have been doing something for 10 years or 15 years or 30 years. That means you have 30 years of experience to document. There is somebody somewhere in the world who needs that knowledge. There is someone somewhere in the world who wants to start something in that area, who doesn't know how to start, who doesn't know the first step. And you have done it for 30 years. So someone is looking for your content. Someone is looking for the information that you have. Someone is looking for your strategy. Someone is looking for that idea that you think that is nothing. Let me tell you something. Your idea is a gold. Your idea is a diamond. I want you to value the idea that you have, that your book can be the next inspiring and impactful content, can be the next impactful material. Remember that your idea is powerful and the world needs you. So why do you need to write a book? Sometimes people think about this. They feel like, should I write a book? Yes, write a book. Write a book. See, let me tell you something about writing a book. The content in every book is transmits knowledge, transmits ideas, transmits revelation, transmits strategy, into the next generation. A book is the transmission of knowledge. So if you have that mindset, if you think about it in that direction, you will know that it's not just about writing the book, it's all about impacting lives. Let me give you an example. I got a message like 4 months ago, an email from someone in India about one of my books. And when I read that email, I was so pleased. I was fulfilled. Sincerely, if you have never written a book, you wouldn't understand what I'm talking about. I was so pleased because the woman that bought that book in India, presented the book to a group of 48 women. And these people also, the leader of the group recommended the book for everyone on the team. And everyone bought the book. And they started using my book for, for their conversation every week because they do have a weekly meeting. They started using every chapter every week for their conversation, for their encouragement. So someone would take a chapter and encourage the group according to the content in the book. The First Steps to Leadership. That's the book I'm talking about. I published the book the first time in 2015. No, just imagine if I never wrote that book. And I've received many other messages on Facebook or different sources from different people all around the world, people that I don't even know. So this is what I'm talking about. Your content can influence the world, can transform lives, can touch lives, even beyond your generation. I'm talking about next generations. So the world is governed by dead men. Remember what I said, because they left their ideas on paper. And that's why people read books, they put all ideas on paper. You remember this popular saying that if you don't want someone to know about something, put it in a book. Put it in a book. If you don't want the person to know about it, put it in a book. You know why? Because they will never read. They will never open the pages. So I want you to start thinking about this. Most people feel like their idea don't worth reading. Well, I felt that way. But your idea, worth it. It's worth it. I want you to start thinking about this. So sometimes we think that we want to read, who wants to read my idea? Who wants to pick up my book? No, don't think that way. Your idea is powerful because the book increases your idea credibility. Your book increases your idea credibility. So let's start this way. Let's talk about this. Let's put it this way. I'm going to give you why you need to write your own book. Okay. So your knowledge, your revelation, your expertise, your message, everything that you have within you right now. So have you ever thought about everything before? Do you want to die with everything that you have within you? How do you want to transfer your knowledge to others? Do you know that what you have can influence the world? That's why we can never forget Moses. We can never forget Matthew. We can never forget John. We can never forget Paul. Because of their writings, because of everything they documented, we can never forget these people. Okay, so writing a book is a transmission of light. Remember what I said. And what is light? Light is knowledge. It is knowledge. In Hebrew, it is knowledge. Ignorance is darkness in Hebrew. So if you want to transmit light, if you want to transmit knowledge, then you need to write. You need to document your ideas. Writing is the most powerful contribution that you can make to this generation and to all generations after you. The most powerful. So your book is permanent. They live on. You are not permanent on earth. Remember that. But your book lives after you. The book lives after you. Your book will still continue to impact lives, touch lives, and influence generations after you. That is how powerful a book is. So a book can produce personal influence. The book can help you to influence people anywhere in the world, even without them meeting you. There are many people that I've never met in my life, who have read my book, and I'm telling you that the books are influencing their lives, impacting their lives. In fact, I live in some families. That's how powerful a book is. You can be living in people's family. You can be living in families, living in people's libraries. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And you can also make money by writing books. Okay? If you want to make money, you can make money by writing books. So let's start from here. Writing qualifications. Let's start from there. Writing qualifications. Some people, ask me questions like, am I really qualified to write? What are the qualifications? How do I know if I'm qualified to start writing? So let me give you some tips on some qualifications. Number one, qualifications. Can your idea and conviction transform lives? Think about that for a second. That's the first thing you need to answer. Can your idea and conviction transform lives? If your idea or your conviction about something, for example, it could be like you don't like the way food or maybe a system is formed, and you just want to correct something. You have a conviction about a system. Let's say maybe a system of government or a business system or marriage system or relationship system or even money making system, or whatever it is that you have conviction about. Do you believe that that can transform lives? That's where you need to start from. If your idea can transform lives, it's worth it. It's worth you documenting those ideas. That means you need to document those ideas, because those ideas will transform lives. Think about do you have a conviction that same-sex marriage is not godly? A man and a man, a woman and a woman is not godly. Do you have that conviction? But let me tell you something about conviction. The moment you start writing, be ready for attack. People will attack you. Some people will speak against you. But do you really have a conviction? Because a conviction is stronger than just feeling about something. Okay? It's stronger even than death. Conviction. Stronger than death. So if you have a conviction about something, write about it. It can transform the world. In fact, your book might be the only material that the world is waiting for. So why can't you write it? So you're qualified. So is your idea worth writing and distributing in the marketplace? Is it worth it? If you think it's worth it, then write. Write. The third question is the idea real to you? Is it real to you? So I want you to think about that. Is my idea real to me? If it is real to you, then write. Write the idea, document that idea, put it down on paper. Do something about it. Stop procrastinating, okay? So are you ready to research? Because if you are not ready to research, that means you are not qualified to write. Let me tell you that. There are many books right now on many shelves that even myself, I cannot read. There are many books that I cannot read. Even myself, I can't read those books. I've read some Christian books that I feel like they should be removed from shelves. Imagine starting a book and all you put in the book is just quoting the Bible. That is not a book. Because every book must be an idea. You cannot write 10 ideas in a book. Every book must hold an idea. So if you're writing about a specific content, make sure that the whole book is an idea. I've read some books whereby I see, different, there was a pastor's book I read one time that the book now, described different messages. a topic on this, a topic on this, a topic on this, a topic on that. And he just says one book. I'm like, this is not one book. This is not one book. A book must have an idea. Although you can have different ways to support that idea. And that is why you need to research, because there is nothing new under the earth. So whatever that you want to write about, someone has written about something that is close to that idea. Search, research, read widely, and make sure you have enough information that you can use to support your idea, to support your revelation, to support your conviction. And that's how people can value your book. And that is how your book can get to the marketplace. Your book can go to different worlds, different people all around the world. Can go to the business world, can go to to different industries. That's how your book can impact different systems when you research the book. Imagine this book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, written by John C. Maxwell. He wrote that content as one of his dissertations. He researched the book. Now think about the book. Sold millions of copies all around the world. That's what I'm talking about. It must be researched. You cannot just wake up in one morning and just say, I'm done. I've written the book. And all you have to do as a Christian is just start quoting the Bible every chapter. You quote the Bible everywhere. You copy the whole chapter of the Bible and you put it in the book. Is that a book? People can go and read the Bible. What is that idea? What is that knowledge that you want to pass? Can you confirm? Can you show us that you have done your research, that you have done your homework? Do you have references? There are many books that should be removed from the shelves. Books without references. Where did you get the knowledge? Somebody will say, I have a new revelation. Who told you it's a new revelation? Okay, all right. Jokes apart, we have to be very sensitive and be ready to do our research if you really want to write a book. Very, very important, because it's work. And so what you should write about, let me give you some very simple steps. What you should write about. Number one, write about your passion. Write about your passion. That is where you need to start from. Many people, they want to write, a book, and they feel like, I don't know. I don't feel inspired. I don't feel encouraged. I just feel like, I don't know. Because they need someone to keep inspiring them, motivating them, encouraging them every time, because they are writing outside their area of passion. You are passionate about something. Let me give you 3 questions to understand your passion. What makes you cry? Think about that. What makes you cry? What are you crying about every day? What kind of change do you want to see in the world? What is that problem that you see every day that you feel like something should be changed in this area? That thing makes you cry. Every time that thing is crying for expression, that thing wants to get out of you. That eats you every morning, every day. When you walk outside, that thing makes you cry. You see it every time. Do you know why? Because that is the pregnancy that you need to deliver. You need to deliver it. You need to deliver that idea. So what makes you cry? What makes you sing? And what makes you dream? Answer those 3 questions to identify your passion. Write in your area of passion. Number 1, write about your conviction or discovery. If you have discovered something or you receive a revelation about something, do more research about it. Write about it. Number 3, write about your experience. I always tell people, if you have done something for 5 years, you've done something for 10 years, imagine if you are very good in managing people and you have managed people for 20 years. Let me tell you something. Many people around the world are struggling in that area. They don't know how to help their teams, how to help them without controlling them, without manipulating them. They don't know how to increase their productivity. Someone can gain from that knowledge. Someone is struggling in that area. Why can't you document your experience? That can transform many lives. Be creative enough to use a very beautiful title. Use a title that can capture people in that area, because you have a target audience. You have an idea that you want to send to the world. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. So think about your experience. See the best way to put it together and do your homework. Do your research. That's what I call your homework. Then number 4, right? Write about your expertise. Your expertise. Have you done a work for a while? If you have done a work for a very long time, you've done it for 15 years, you've done it for 10 years, then you are already an expert in that area. Document your experience, document your knowledge, put it together on paper. It's going to be useful for someone. Someone is looking for that information. Someone is ready to pay for it. That content can transform lives. Now, number 5, right? Write about your testimony. Yes, your testimony. So think about things that you have done, your story. Your story, that's what I'm talking about. Everyone has a story. You have a story. If you are 40 years old, that means you have a 40-year, a valuable story that you can put on paper that can transform lives. Why can't you write about your journey? Write about your life. Document it. Write it in a beautiful way. If you need to collaborate with others, collaborate with people. Do something about it. Write about your testimonies that can transform lives. Then write about your obligation. Let me tell you what I mean by obligation. If you are successful in an area, you are obligated to write about what you have done, what you have achieved, so that you can transfer that knowledge, transfer the experience to the next generation, starting from your own generation. For example, Bill Gates is obligated to write, to transfer his knowledge, because he has discovered some secrets when it comes to the information industry, when it comes to technology industry. He has discovered some secrets that he needs to release. He's obligated to write. So let's think about Africa. Think about the people who have invented, people who have achieved greatly. Everyone who has done something specific, like for example, like Dangote, is obligated to write. There are many people who are looking up to him. They are learning business skills from him. They also want to expand just like him. So he's obligated to write, to transfer his knowledge, to transfer his strategy, his experience to the next generation. So write if you are obligated to write something. So when should you write? When should you write? Let me quickly give you some points on when you should start writing. Write to meet a specific need. When there is a specific need, then you need to start writing. Yeah. When there is a specific need, there is I call it a prevailing problem. When there is a prevailing problem, then you need to write something. For example, in the world today, there is crisis. If you have a revelation or an experience or an idea to write a book about crisis, about how to get out of crisis, about how to solve your family crisis, your team's crisis, how to increase your productivity in your organization, how to solve your national crisis, if you can write a book now, that book will sell, because it's a demand, it's a need right now. So when should you write? Write when there is a demand. Write when you are passionate. You are passionately driven about your idea and research. When you are passionately driven about your idea and research, then start writing. Start documenting your idea. Start putting those ideas down. Pen those things. Number 4, when you have tested your idea. When you have tested your idea. See, it is very important for you to test your idea. If you have tested the idea, write about it. If you have used the idea and it worked for you, then help other people to learn how it will work for them as well. I remember in 2009, 2010, I served, in a state, Kogi State, and then I was privileged to win a national award. That was in 2010. And let me tell you something about this. I wrote a lot of articles helping a lot of people on how to achieve the same thing. Many people achieved the same thing because they read my articles. And I put some of those contents in those articles in my books. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I tested those contents. Those contents were tested. People read those contents and they got result from those contents, and I used them in my books. And those books are transforming lives. I'm writing another book now to solve that same problem, to solve a kind of a similar problem in that same industry, to help people on how to make a mark that can never be erased in 1 year. In 1 year. So it is compulsory to go for National Youth Service, called in Nigeria, NYSC, if you're familiar to that, if you're a Nigerian. So I'm writing that book right now to release so that everyone can know how to make a mark that can never be erased in 1 year, because I have tested the idea. I have walked through the same path. So I am an authority to help people in that area on how to do it. So if you have tested your idea, then you can write a book. You can start writing in that area. So I hope you got that. So the next thing I want to quickly teach you is how to write. How to write. I want to quickly summarize this. I'm going to summarize this. This is very, very crucial. How to write. Number one, write this down and never forget this. Please write this down. Don't forget. Number one, document your conceived and clarified idea. Document them. If you need to write every day, every second, say in my car, I have my diaries everywhere. On my phone, I have my notes everywhere where I write different stuff. So whatever that works for you, make sure you have something or something somewhere where you can, write some things, where you can document your ideas, because say, whatever that you have not written down is not yet yours, because the brain is porous. You can easily forget. If you are still thinking about it, oh, okay, I have it in my brain, that's okay. No. If you have not documented it, it's not yet yours. Write down those ideas, put them down on paper. Number two, conceptualize your idea. Develop a summary. Have a picture. I always tell people that have the end in mind. Whenever I'm writing, the first thing I think about the whole book. So that helps me to itemize different chapters, different rows. I have summaries. I jot down. Sometimes I write. I come up with an outline, different chapters. That's what I do. So when you have different chapters, all you need to do is to develop them. Start developing them. Have a summary for a title. Then develop that summary. Do more research about that summary. Blow it up. That's exactly how to do it. So conceptualize that idea. Number three, develop an outline. Remember what I said. Develop an outline. Very important. That means, for example, you can have a sentence or a paragraph to develop your outline. The next one is do your research. What does a research, help you to achieve? A research validates your idea. When you do your research, it validates your idea. Very important. Then create an antidote or a solution. Think about a solution that you want people to get from that book. So what does that mean? You need to support your book, your idea, with stories. And that's why you need to do some research. You need to write stories about you, write stories about people, write stories about events or situations or activities that are related to your idea. Don't just start writing 10 ways to do something and all you do is just, your content, your book, when people are reading your book, it should be like they are communicating with you. They're having a conversation with you. That's how your book should sound. It should be, your content, every page should be as if you are talking to the reader. That's how it should sound. Your book shouldn't be boring. You should have stories. So I always tell people when you're writing a book, never write a story without a point and never write a point without a story. Make sure you have a story, and that story could be your own story, especially your story. Because if your life is not in your book, it's not your book. Let me repeat that. If your life is not in your book, it is not your book. I remember when I wrote a book, my book in 2009, my first book, before I released the book. I sent the book to one of my mentors. And when he read the book, when he read the manuscript, he said, Wale, this is rubbish. I was like, I've taken my time to write this content. Why would this man say my book is rubbish? I hope you can relate with me, how I felt. Well, see, he told me the truth because the content, the manuscript was actually rubbish. I didn't have my life in the manuscript. I was just writing about other people. He said, I can't see you in the book. Your life must show in the book. That makes it your book. So I went back to rewrite every chapter. I put my stories, I put my context, and I had to summarize everything about my experience on every page. So you need to think about the flow of the book, the story of the book. Thank you very much, Mr. Henry. I really appreciate your comment. Very powerful comment. Thank you for that. Yeah, research, very important. So let me just continue from there. I want everyone who is watching me live to please share this video with someone that you know in the world. This is going to really help someone. Okay, very, very important. Everyone needs to learn this, because we can impact our world, we can transfer ideas, we can transmit ideas, to our generation and also to the next generation. And we can see the value that we have and why we need to write. So remember, research. Number 5, right? Create your antidote. Okay, I've talked about antidote. Then record and start writing. Record and start writing. That is your introduction. Record and start writing your book. Let me explain that. If you have not delivered a message before, or let's say you are not a speaker, like myself now, I speak, right? I speak on stages, I do workshops, seminars, conferences, okay? And I also speak on other people's stages. Now, I have messages that I can fall back to. So I can easily fall back on my messages and just give them to a publisher, like, oh, can you please help me to summarize this, and or maybe to transcribe the audio or the video. And I can sit down with those content and I can easily edit them, summarize them, and turn them to a book. You can also do that if you have your messages. Very easy. You can do that. Think about like Joel Austin, think about TD Jakes. Think about all these, all these big men. Think about, all the big authors in Nigeria, in Africa, in South Africa, in Ghana. Think about all these people. So this is the system that they follow. They have their audios, they have their videos. They just look for someone who will transcribe this content for them, and then they edit them, they read them, they add and remove, and eventually turn it to a manuscript and then get it published. But if you don't have that, if you don't have a content, that you have recorded before, then speak. You could do it easily by being interviewed by someone. Write down some questions. That could be like, for example, you can write down like 50 questions on that idea that you want to document, on that specific idea that you want to turn to a book. So write down like 50 questions, and that's why you need to do a research. Look at different problems that people have in that area and write down 40, 50 questions. Answer those questions. Get someone to help you, to interview you. Talk about them. Then record yourself. Then start writing. You will see that if you follow these steps, your system, your brain will be expand, your mind will expand. You will get more information, and you will receive more revelation. And the more the more you research about that idea, the more you will be seeing more solutions to those problems. Okay, so record and then start writing. The next one is write the content or hire someone. If you cannot write your content, hire someone. Hire someone to help you. Okay, I do that for people. If I've done ghostwriting for many people. Okay, I've done it for many people. Help some people. I've coached some people through the process on how to write, what to write, and how to write it. I've helped them, at every stage, and they've published their books. And some of them, they have their books all around that you don't even see my name there, because part of the contract. The author might decide to put my name there or not. So, but that's what I'm talking about. So you can write it by yourself or hire someone to help you, to coach you, or to support you to write your content. Depends on how you want it, but it is your book. Right. So the next one is combine several ideas and then produce your manuscript. Combine several ideas and then produce your manuscript. You need to combine several ideas. I mean, talking about researches, information, your experience, your stories, everything that you have written everywhere. There was a time I was writing, I wrote different things everywhere, and I'm like, okay, I have to combine all these things and put them together now. Okay. Yeah, you can do the same thing. Start from there. Start from there. It is normal to have ideas everywhere, and then you gather them together, type them, and then look for, okay, this idea goes with this chapter, this one goes with this chapter, this one goes with this chapter, and try to see how to put them together. Before you know it, the story to put with the chapter and how to end the chapter, the points and how, put them together. And that's how you can start creating your own content and also get your book out there. So edit your content. That's the next thing you need to do. When you write the content, when you put out all those ideas, then edit your content. Say, sometimes people say that, it is important for you to make sure that your book is grammatically correct. You cannot be 100% perfect, but make sure that you give your book to editors. I'm talking about people who are editing. Make sure they edit and they edit the book correctly, because your book can get into anybody's hands. People will believe what you have written down than what you have said. And the moment your book is out, the book represents you. The book is your image. Okay, so make sure that it is the contents are edited. Then the next thing is seek for endorsement from experts or public figures to gain credibility. This is very, very important. Very, very important. Nobody knows you. You are new in the industry. Nobody knows your name. So you need to look for someone who is credible, someone who is known in that industry to endorse you. Allow the person to write your endorsement. Allow the person to give you some endorsement. Give it to someone to write your forward, especially someone that is known in that industry that you're writing about. Give it to someone in that industry. Sometimes we think that, how can I talk to this person? Yes, try. Go to them. Go to someone that you respect, someone that you honor, someone that is mentoring you, coaching you, that you are following. Talk to them, approach them with that idea, but make sure that you have done your homework, that you have a good manuscript, because not everyone wants to put their name on everyone's manuscript. They want to read it very well, and they want to make sure that this thing can represent me. And that's why it's difficult sometimes to get people's endorsement, because most of the content that you see in the world today that people write about, nobody wants to put their names on them. Somebody gave me his manuscript one time that, Wale, I wanted to put your name on my manuscript. And I read it. I'm like, no, I can't put my name on this because I don't want this to represent me. When I read some of the leadership concepts in the book, I saw manipulations, I saw control stories. I'm like, no, I don't teach control. I don't teach manipulation. I teach inspiration. I teach influence. So whatever that misrepresents me, cannot receive my endorsement. That's exactly how, all the big names think. So you need to have that at the back of your mind. Then submit your manuscript to a publishing company. They are professional writers and editors. They can easily help you. I use a professional publisher in the United Kingdom, Sydney Sonny. He was the one that helped me to publish my one of my books in 2015 in the UK. I want you to think about that. Outsource your book. Get help from someone. Get help from someone. Like Sydney Sonny, if you're in the UK, just look for his name. He can help you. He helped me in 2015, and that's what I'm talking about. Okay, then because these people understand the standards, they understand the procedures. They know the standards, because your book must not be less than 169 pages minimum if you really want a standard book. I'm talking about the standard. You can write short books, that's okay. You can write 100 pages, 50 pages, 120 pages, that's okay. But I'm just telling you that a minimum of 169 pages, that is the standard book. Then as an unknown author, rather, send your appropriate, send your manuscript to appropriate publishers. I will encourage you to do that. Send it to different publishers. Not all publishers will accept your manuscript, but just give it a trial. Send to them. Send to them. Someone might pick up your manuscript and publish it, and you might not even spend, any money in getting your first book out. So give it a try. Submit to publishers. They will help you to get it online, produce the hard copy, do all that kind of stuff. Consider self-publishing as well. Consider it self-publishing. I always encourage people to do that. You can control the process and the work. That's one of the things that we help people to do on how to self-publish. And you can do it by yourself, and you can do everything from your home. Publish your book from your home. Yeah, it's true. So consider self-distribution. That is very key as well. So what are the advantages of publishing companies? Let me just go through that. I think I have some of them itemized here, that they have the system already. So you can leverage on their system. They understand the writing process. They can help you easily submit your manuscript, and they will help you to go through that process, and they will just help you to know where to put what to put. And they can also coach you and advise you on what you should remove and why you should remove those things in your manuscript. So, and they also have professional promotion and advertising, system. And some of them, they have more than 30,000 stores, online stores, and they can distribute your book online. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So you need to leverage on publishing companies. They pre-sell your book. They charge you for publishing services to get you into the system. Remember that it's not free. They will charge you. Okay, they will charge you. Then submit to your royalty standards. Every publishing company has a royalty standard. Amazon has royalty standard. I have my books there. They give me my percentage every time a book is sold. Okay, so you need to submit their royalty standard. Every publishing company has theirs. It depends on the one you go for. So become a best-selling author and negotiate your royalty. When you become a best-selling author, you will renegotiate. Now people know you, so you can renegotiate and make more money. So expect to be influenced by the publisher. That's very important. So let me give you some codes of publishing. There are some codes of publishing. Number one code, your manuscript. So I want to itemize them. Your manuscript, very important. Your manuscript, fantastic forward. You need a fantastic forward. So let me just itemize. Let me start from the beginning. Your manuscript, fantastic forward. You need that. Very important. Endorsement. Remember, endorsement is different from forward. Okay. So someone would read the whole book and write like a page or 2 pages about your whole book. And that will be the first page that people will read about your book. So they can see that, oh, this person has put his or her name on the book. This must be a good book. So then that name must also be in front of your book, so that people can see that this name is in front of your book. That's exactly how to promote the book. Endorsement, cover design, very important. Your cover design must be fantastic. You must do a research about that to make sure that your title, your idea is in line with your design. The next one is promotion. Promotion. Think about the promotion. So start from the end in mind. When you start writing the book, start thinking about all these things: your promotion, your distribution channel, your marketing, and then your royalty. Your royalty. Yeah, these are the key things that you need to think about when you are writing your book. And let me tell you something: writing a book is profitable. You can make a lot of money from writing a book. Okay, it's possible. Okay. And one of the things I do, in my coaching classes, I teach people on how to write books. It's one of our training sections that we do. And I want you to look at the screen right now. There's something on my screen right now. If you can see the screen, click myfreedom.com. I want you to go to that website, clickmyfreedom.com. You can see some of our new services. I'm launching this company today, launching this company today. And this company is going to be helping people. This is a company where the best in the knowledge industry will be helping people to learn how to become successful in every area of life. We have 3 faculties in this school, and we have the first pilot faculty, we have the intermediate faculty, and the advanced faculty. And there is another course that we just introduced in this school. It's called the Scrum Master Certification Training Program. Now, this Scrum Master will help people on how to become agile oriented, how to become Scrum Masters and earn 6 figures in less than 6 months. We can help you on how to increase, increase your income, how to earn 6 figures in less than 6 months. And we're going to train you. You're going to get certified, and of course, start earning. Start earning money. You are capable. You are more than enough. You can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. And I strongly believe in you. I know that you have greatness on your inside. That is something I know. You have value. You have books in you. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. I want to encourage you that you should think about this today. Your book can impact the world. Your book is an idea container. Your book can transmit knowledge into this generation and the next generation. Your book can help a lot of people all around the world. So stop thinking about yourself alone. Your knowledge, your experience, your testimonies, your expertise, your revelations. Those things can help people all around the world. And another good news about writing your book is that it's profitable. You can make money. You can help people and also make money. And your book will outlive you. Remember that. Your book will outlive you. So I'm going to stop here today. Remember to share this message with someone somewhere in the world. And don't forget to check clickmyfreedom.com. Reach out to us, and then we will help you to start your journey. We'll be glad to support you to live your dreams and to release everything that you have within you. You have greatness within you. Remember that every day. One thing I do every day is raising eagles, and I will continue to do this until you succeed. I want you to say this to yourself. My dream is possible. My dream is possible. I will walk. I will run. I will fly, and I will never, never give up. That is very true. That's how much I believe in you. Thank you very much for being here with me. I appreciate everyone who is here with me, and everyone that will watch this video. Keep on leading. My name is Wale Adekanla, self-mastery expert, international leadership consultant, and a nation builder. Thank you once again, and keep on leading. And I will see you next week. Bye for now.